Hi everyone, it's Philip Rosedale, aka Philip Linden. Here I am, coming to you from both Second Life and here in the real world, my office at the Linden Lab headquarters. And what I wanted to try today was to do a little video release notes for the ExtraFPS version of Second Life, with the hope that maybe I can better explain some of the new features there, and also implore you to give it a try, particularly if you're on the older version of Firestorm. You might be interested in some of the new improvements and graphical features that we've made to ExtraFPS. This same ExtraFPS is what is currently in the latest version of Firestorm. So if you're interested in trying it on Firestorm, just download the latest version from their site. But with that, let me kind of go through some of the capabilities and new features that we have in here. The first thing, just to show, obviously, for the last few months, a lot of what we've been doing is trying to improve the performance, particularly the performance of Second Life with these remarkable new graphics capabilities that were introduced in the mostly in the PBR release of Second Life many months ago now. As you can see, let me kind of cam around. This is a really beautiful space that we're in. It highlights a lot of the new graphics features, and hopefully one thing you can see is that, even with all these lights and reflections turned on and all this content, and there's a number of people here, I can really move around and pull camera very smoothly. We've done a ton of work in that regard over the last few months. As you know, we really screwed things up, and we're really sorry about that, in reducing the performance of Second Life pretty significantly with the PBR updates. But as you can hopefully see here, and even more hopefully try out for yourself, things are getting substantially better, and the ExtraFPS build has a lot of the performance fixes we were looking for in this release, and there are a number of more fixes coming in the upcoming Forever FPS version. And in addition to that, not in this version, but a bit down the line, we're looking at fixing the problems with water that got introduced in this release as well. So lots of stuff to show you, but yeah, the first thing is just look how smooth things are, how smooth the frame rates are for me. Obviously, all our mileage varies according to the machine that we're on. I'm on a computer here at work, but you should definitely see substantially improved performance over earlier versions of Second Life. So now what I want to do is just show you a couple of graphics features that are in this new version. I'm going to go to my preferences here and graphics, and then I'm going to go to advanced. So a couple of things here. If you're on an older computer, ExtraFPS will now let you disable HDR and emissive settings. I can show you, let's see how I do that here. Here's the checkbox, HDR and emissive. By turning that off, you'll get a substantial performance boost on your computer. And so that's one of the first things you'll want to play with ExtraFPS if you are on an older machine. And as you can see, with those settings off, we're still able to capture a lot of the beautiful reflections and new graphics capabilities. Anyway, so I'm going to turn that back on now. Another feature we've got is the ability to toggle your voice dot on and off. You can see my voice dot there over me, and you can turn that on and off for yourself now and for others. That's this checkbox right here. Show the voice dot above avatars. So if I turn that off, whammo, there's no talking, even though my lips are moving. Magic, like ventriloquism. So there, I'll turn it back on. This next feature is anti-aliasing, and I'm gonna Strawberry is here to help me. I'm gonna zoom in on Strawberry so that hopefully you'll be able to see a couple of these next effects up closer, so we can see the amazing Strawberry there in front of us. And I'm going to turn on and off a couple of features here for you. So if we go back into graphics and advanced, boom, here we go. And now what we can see is there's an anti-aliasing selection here. This is on the new capability, which is SMAA. I can switch that back to disabled, which is the old way. And if you look closely, and I think Strawberry may put in a couple of frames in the video for us here. If you look closely, you can see that the SMAA setting makes for a smoother, better look overall on the image. You can see there as I turn it on again. Another related capability is a sharpening filter. And let's see how this looks on Strawberry here. Again, I'm going to close in there. And you can see this sharpening slider over here. And I can move the sharpening up really high for really high contrast. And then I can move it back down, and you can see on Strawberry's freckles there how it's doing it. Let me cam around a little bit here. Let's see. Another example is here on these kind of bushes and palm tree on the background there. If I turn my sharpening up, you'll see that definition. I noticed I could really see it well on this tree trunk and grass in the background. So here's lower, smoother setting on the sharpening, and then bringing it up again. You can see both on the tree texture and on the grass in the background there. Put that back in the middle. There's also some Tonemapper settings that we've refined to give you more control over how things look. The Khronos Neutral Tonemapper, which is what's on right now, adds a kind of a subtle, a little bit more realistic touch. You should notice that difference when you're photographing things like, oh, let's see, I've got this beautiful kind of moon in the background here. Kind of strike a little scene there and adjust between the Tonemappers. So there's the new Khronos Tonemapper, and there is the ACES Tonemapper. So you can enjoy that capability for your picture taking pleasure. And again, these are features that are both in the ExtraFPS Second Life Viewer and also in the latest Firestorm Viewer. So you can get access to both of them there. I hope that you will see this video and give it a try for yourself, particularly if you haven't tried the latest version of Second Life, or if you're using the older version of Firestorm. We know that we caused a bunch of performance problems there, and we think that we've fixed most of them. If you try it and you are still having performance problems between in switching from Firestorm 6 to the latest version of either Second Life or the latest version of Firestorm, please let us know so that we can keep working on these things. Give it a try. And as I touched on at the beginning as well, in our next couple of releases, we will have additional speed up improvements to the graphics, and finally some improvements to fix both water and invisiprims that I know are an important modeling tool that a lot of people have been using, that also came out initially in the PBR release. So I hope this is helpful, and I'm enjoying doing this. It's fun to learn how to use all the video recording tools here and give you a presentation of what we're doing. And let's see what everybody thinks. And if you, you know, if you think this was a helpful video, I guess like it, like they say on YouTube, and I will endeavor to keep doing things. Thanks. It's great to see everyone.